Hello, and welcome to Dear Diary Let's Knit. I'm Jess, and this is my podcast where I talk about all my creative and crafting endeavors. So, mostly that includes knitting and quilting, but occasionally I do take little journeys into other creative areas. If you've been here before, you know that I usually start with my knitting and then move on to my quilting. So that's what I'm gonna be doing today. If you want to subscribe down below, I do not have a posting schedule yet. It's just kind of whenever I feel like it and whenever the timing works. So subscribe down below so that you get, you see when I post next and you don't miss any videos. So without further ado, Dear Diary, let's knit. All right, let's get started with knitting. So I don't have any finished projects right now. I've been really focusing on quilting the last couple weeks, and I'll talk about that later. But I do have works in progress. So let's start with my furthest work in progress. This is basically a half finished object. Half a sock. Okay, well, a full sock, half a pair of socks. This is, and of course it's prettier on a sock blocker, but since the needles are still in, I didn't do that. Here we go. See if you can get a view of that. This is a vanilla sock that I'm doing. And let me show you this yarn because it is so pretty. This yarn is Leading Men Fiber Arts, and it's in the colorway Christmas at Green Gables. And I love Anne of Green Gables, you guys. It is probably one of my all-time favorite movies ever. So I'm doing just a vanilla sock. I cast on 72 for this one, and I have 20 rounds for the cuff. And then let's see, I have my stitch markers to keep track of my stitches. Let's see, there's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So 20 for the cuff and then 60 for the leg. And then I have the Fish Lips Kiss Heel, and 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 85. 85 for the foot before I start just a basic toe decrease. And actually, you guys, the sock is done. I just have to Kitchener the little toe together right here. that's all I have left, is to just do that toe up. And I was gonna do it this morning, but it is a super snowy day out and I don't know how long I'm going to have light. So I decided to film first and I'll just Kitchener the toe shut after that. So this is a half finished object. It is a gift knit, so I want to get this done so that I can ship it off before Christmas. And the next, it's kind of an acquisition slash work in progress, because I did buy some yarn for this, and also this yarn I purchased. This is a new acquisition. Like I said, I usually buy things specifically for projects. So the person who I'm gifting this to, I had her choose out the fabric, the yarn, to make fabric for socks. But I let her pick which colorway she wanted, and it is so pretty, so pretty. But, okay, and I'm so sorry this is loud. I will talk about why. Ready? I am doing...
Mom?
Yeah?
I want to stay more here.
Okay, just a second. Hold on a second. All right, got him situated. I am doing a color work mitten. And these are for my mom. They are so pretty, but I'm gonna explain why this is loud. So when I haven't done a ton of color work, but I have 2 strands of the white and 2 strands of the pink, which means I am dealing with 4 balls of yarn right here. And what I do is I put them in super cute Ziploc bags, and I put one on one side and one on the other. So I have my yarn in each hand as I go along, and that way they never get tangled. And since they're in the Ziploc plastic bag, they don't get tangled inside either, because I don't know, the plastic against the ball of yarn, they just spin so perfectly. And I do reuse these bags. These are pretty old from other projects, but it works. It's not pretty, but it works really well. So let me tell you what yarns I've got for these. This is Holst Supersoft. It's their 100% wool. And then we've got Fiberspates, Cumulus. I don't know if that's how you say it, but Cumulus. And I'm pretty sure this color is, oh dang it. I have the tags in here. Okay, this one is Nougat, and this one I'm pretty sure is Dove. Not a guarantee because the tag isn't in here. Usually the tag's in the bag for me. But that is that one. And then the pink colors. This one is Cascade 220 fingering in the colorway Thistle. And it just reminds me so much of my mom. It's such a perfect color. And although they are a little bit different, when they're worked up, they're so good together. And this one is the... Okay, I'm coming. Hold on. All right. So this one is Fiberspates. There's no L in there. Fiberspates. If that's how it's pronounced. I don't know. And this color is Thistle. This one's Thistle. What did I say this was? This must not be thistle. Nope, it's just color 9621. So we've got 9621 and thistle. But I have been working this up. And now I'm all tangled because I took all the yarn out of the bags. But let me show you how it's coming. I think it is so pretty. It's got this beautiful flower pattern, and the pattern actually is a free pattern, which is so awesome. You guys, I work in paper. I have to print everything off. It's the Carmalita Mittens. Fleece, Love, and Happiness.com. So they're the Carmalita Mittens. And here's a kind of crumpled picture of it. But they have been going so good. The back of the mitten is super intuitive, so I don't have to worry too much. But the front is definitely not intuitive. Like, I have to make sure that when I'm doing these, I've got my chart right there so I can watch it. Because otherwise I would just mess up. And actually, I've done it a few times. I've been working on these while watching movies, and then I have to tink back because I got off somewhere in the row. But they are incredibly soft. If you have not used this, so this one is Storey Alpaca. These Fiberspates ones, they're, okay, just 1 second. 75 baby Storey Alpaca, 74% baby Storey Alpaca, and 26% mulberry silk. And if you have never used these, oh my goodness, it is so soft. It is so soft. I've used mohair. I've used mohair before, but I like this better. And you can see the halo on it. It's got a bit of a halo, but it doesn't have those longer mohair strands, and I kind of like that. I don't know, I don't love the super long mohair strands. So I kind of like that I get that halo without the hair per se. I get the soft, like, oh, they are gonna be so warm, so warm. But there you go. I have a little over half a mitten done on this. And these, like I said, these are for my mom for Christmas. So I'm gonna try and get them finished up and done before Christmas. So that is my second work in progress. I'll move this so it's not loud anymore. And then moving on to my cardigan. And you guys, this has kind of taken a back seat. Okay, it's kind of been on a back seat ever since I started it. And I'm really hoping that I'll finish up these little projects soon, and then I can really focus on my cardigan. But I mean, I have definitely made progress. I am on the sleeves. This is the I really should have these at least on the front page so I can, oh, it is. It is on the front page. This is Martin Storey's Oakford cardigan. And it is a paid pattern, so I'm not gonna show you much about it, but it is worked flat and it's worked from the bottom up. So this is a totally new construction to me. I've never done this before. But last time I showed you, I had one sleeve at just barely above the wrist, about that far. and the other sleeve was about at the elbow. So I have, here, let me undo that. I just have them pinned together so I don't get confused about which direction I'm working. But I have gotten all the way up to my decreases. There we go. That's what one sleeve looks like. And I am working them now 2 at a time. So I caught this one, the one that was shorter, I caught up to the elbow length, and then I joined them both on this cable. So now, oh, these are kind of hard to show. There we go. Now, if you look, I don't know how far down my arm you can see. Here we go. We'll just pretend it's on. There we go. I'm almost up to the shoulder. I'm pretty close to where I'm gonna combine everything. This is gonna be a raglan shaping, so it's gonna go all the way up to the neckline. But I have 2 sleeves, and it's really soft. And I really just love textured things. So this, the yarn I'm working on, I've talked about it before on here, like every episode. So this is a Knit Picks UpCycle in the colorway Titanium. So it's got wool, alpaca, and acrylic. It's about 33-ish% of each. And I really like it. It was a great deal. I got it on sale. And I love how this is working out. So that is my last knitting project. You guys, I don't have a ton as far as knitting goes. Like I said, I was really focused on quilting the last couple weeks, and I'll talk about that, but that is it. That's all the quilting. 1 sock, half a mitten, and 2 close to done sleeves. Yeah, I'm hoping to get back to knit. Okay, I know I'm gonna get back to knitting because my quilt here that I'm gonna show you, I finished this morning. So I'm gonna shift and get back into knitting. I've done a ton of quilting lately, and I'm ready to work on knitting some more. So I will definitely have more to show as far as knitting goes next time. And I was thinking of doing like a winter Christmas sweater roundup, I guess. A little dream knit of Christmas sweaters, because although I don't think I'm gonna be making one this year. Okay, scratch that. I know I'm not. I know I don't have the time to make a sweater before Christmas, but I really want to just dream about making one, and hopefully, I don't know, maybe I'll make one in January for next year. But anyway, so there you go. That is the knitting portion of my podcast. So if you were just here for the knitting, thanks for stopping by. But if you were here also want to stick around for the quilting, let's move on to that. So dear diary, let's quilt. Thanks for sticking around for the quilting portion. So I finished 2 quilts this time. One of them I actually started, okay, scratch that. I started it like in 2020, I got the fabric for it, but then I quilted it in August and I just barely stitched the binding on this week. So this is my safari quilt for my youngest. And I will insert some actual footage of it so you can see it, because I know it's hard to show a quilt on here. But this fabric it's a Moda fabric, and I got the charm pack for it, and then a couple charm packs, I think, and just some extra to do it. And I went to Joann's when it was all done, and I found this backing, and oh my goodness, it is so perfect. Like, it's a minky. I do my little kids' quilts in minky back, and the color was just so perfect. And I don't know if you can see it. Let's see. But it's got these cute suns on it. And then my husband actually picked out the stitch pattern for it. He loves picking out the stitch pattern when I'm doing the long arm quilting, and he does such a good job for it too. So it's got all these. Yeah, bud? Oh, I need to clip the thread. I am showing your blanket.
Why?
Because.
For me?
Yeah, for you.
It's me?
Yeah.
Thank you, do it.
You're welcome, buddy.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. The stitching on the long arm quilter, my husband likes picking out the patterns, and he's really good at it too. So we have all these, I don't know what you'd even call them. They kind of remind me of bats, or of like the horn on a rhino or something, but it matches so good with the safari theme, and clearly you can tell my little one just loves it. So I literally just finished it up, and he got it yesterday. So I do have to say though, like, hand stitching, I always hand stitch the binding on the back of my quilts. And you guys, minky, as soft and wonderful as it is hard to stitch. It just takes a long time. Like, and I don't know, it's just hard. It's hard, and it takes a long time to get the needle through the minky. And I think I just kind of forgot, because the last four quilts I've done have all had minky on the back. And so I forgot how time consuming hand stitching minky is until I did this, and I whipped through the entire binding in 24 hours. Yeah. And I was like, oh, yeah, this is hard. This is hard, and it takes time. But I love how it turned out. It's so soft. It's so cute. And it is very, very much loved. So, on to my next finished project, my Christmas quilt. So, this one, my last podcast, I had not even received the fabric yet. So I stitched this whole thing up in about a week, and then started quilting it. So let me first show you the fabric, since I never got to. This is Blizzard by Sweetwater. It's from Moda, and it is a charm pack. So Hopefully that focused. But it's all these cute little fabrics that are all part of the collection. So I ordered I ordered a layer cake, which is 10-inch squares, 10 by 10. And then I was gonna cut them into 5-inch squares for the quilt pattern. But there was only one layer cake left in the shop I ordered from. And I don't know if someone else checked out at the same time or if there was just a mistake on the inventory or whatever. But she messaged me and was like, hey, I'm so sorry. I don't have a layer cake. It's, you know, I'm out of stock. Would it be okay if I sent you 4 charm packs instead of a layer cake? It's the same amount of fabric. It's just in the 5-inch squares. And I was like, that's perfect, because I was gonna cut it into 5-inch squares anyways. So she sent me 4 layer cakes, and I ended up actually only using 3, as you can see. But I did, so I took a few specific colors out of this 4th one. So it's not technically a full one right now. It's missing like 3 of the pieces. But it was perfect. So it saved me the time of having to cut them into 5-inch squares. Okay, first I'm gonna show you the backing because it's so cute. And I'm showing you the backing because it is this beautiful flannel, buffalo plaid flannel. And it is so snuggly and it is so cute and everything sticks to it. Everything. So it is getting fluffies and hairs and threads like crazy. So I'm showing you the back first so that hopefully it's as clean as possible. Okay, so the stitching I did on this was a Panto graph by Urban Elements, and it's called Swirling Snowflakes, and I love it so much. Like this one, the stitching, it's one of the free ones that comes with the Pro Stitcher program on a long arm quilting machine. But this one, I found it on Instagram and fell in love with it. The little swirls and the snowflakes, fell in love with it. So I purchased the stitch pattern, the Panto graph, on Black Friday, so I could use it for this quilt. And I love it so much. So let me show you the front. And again, it's hard to actually show a full quilt on here, so I will insert pictures and footage of it. But this is the quilt. Half the quilt that you can see. And I love it so much. So the pattern I did is called the Jacob's Star. It's, well, the Easy Jacob's Star. And I followed a video tutorial. I'll link it below. It is from Missouri Star Quilt Company. They have a fantastic YouTube channel with tons of tutorials. They're wonderful. I love them. I will link them below. But this is the Easy Jacob's Star quilt. And the quilt she does is actually like basically a twin size, I think. But I wanted this to be just a throw for the back of the couch here. So I cut out, I think it was supposed to be like 7 blocks by 9 blocks. And I did mine 6 blocks by 6 blocks. So hence why I have an extra one. I just bought how much she said to get. And since I cut down the size, I didn't need as much. But I just love it. I feel like these blocks, they remind me of snowflakes. That's what my kids have been calling them, the snowflake blocks. And then this little white space. That's why it's called the Jacob's Arrow, I guess. But I think it kind of looks Christmas tree-ish. Like, see that little Christmas tree, right? So it's got snowflakes and Christmas trees. Yeah, I just got the white fabric from Joann's, and then the backing I got from Joann's, and it was actually another Black Friday purchase, which was awesome. It was on sale for $2.99 a yard, normally $10 a yard. So I got the entire backing for like $13, which was very exciting. And I had actually, so I picked out this as my binding before I ever picked the backing. I didn't pick the backing out until the top was completely finished. And I was a little nervous at the store. I was like, is it gonna look okay with like plaid and plaid? But I actually really love it. I think it looks so cute. But yeah, this was a really fun quilt. And like I said, I did the whole thing up in like a week. And it's about 65 inches by 65 inches. So it's a perfect size couch quilt. It's a perfect size lap quilt. But I was up quite a few nights right before we left to visit my mother-in-law. We went this last week, and if you're new here, my mother-in-law has a long arm quilting machine that I get to use every time we go out and visit. So I wanted so bad to have this quilt done before we left, because I knew that we probably won't be out there again till like spring or summer. And I was like, if I don't get it done, I won't be able to use it till like next Christmas. So I really wanted to get it done and get it quilted this Christmas. So before we left, there were a couple nights I stayed up really late, and I have just, okay, just a second. Okay, just a second. All right, sorry. I had stayed up really late a few nights in a row trying to get this done, and I've just really been focusing on quilting this for the last couple of weeks. And then when we went out to my mother-in-law's, I was doing...
It's so loud.
Okay, just a minute. I think we're about done. But
Yes.
I quilted this, and then I quilted a table runner for her. And then I also quilted a full, I guess it would be about full size, because it definitely was bigger than a twin. But I quilted that for her on her long arm machine. So I've been doing a lot of quilting lately, and I love quilting. I love quilting so much. But I think I'm gonna slow down on quilting a little bit and focus a little more on knitting. But I do have extra fabric, and I was thinking maybe I'll do some pillow covers or something to go with it.
I want a new day.
All right. I think that's my cue.
Mommy, turn it
But-
off. I want a day.
All right, I'm gonna just end this, okay? Anyways, thanks so much for stopping by and watching. And if you enjoyed, make sure you subscribe. Well, make sure you like and then subscribe below so that you know next time I post. So thanks for stopping by, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.